Hey everyone, I am your astrologer Brittany with Horoscope.com. Here are 3 things you need to know in order to make today, Friday, February 8th, 2019, a success. Now the first thing I want to talk about is going to be right here where the moon is. Now the moon in this chart is in Aries, but at the very beginning of the day it's still going to be here at the very last degrees of Pisces. When the moon's in Pisces, it brings our attention to the past, dealing with the past, old things, making sense of the past. It also brings our attention to going inward, internally, to getting right with ourself inside. Now what we have going on very early this morning, perhaps so many of us are sleeping, is this moon in Pisces here making a trine over to the North Node in Cancer. What I do believe is what's happening there is that the more we're spending time with ourselves, to get right with ourselves, to figure out what we need, to deal with the past, it's helping us here to understand our emotions with the North Node in Cancer, figure out how we can ground ourselves, become more comfortable in our life, and move forward in a way doing the things that are more meaningful to us personally. So I really do like that. However, right after we have this very nice alignment, we do have something a little bit challenging. Now as we're starting to get up and move around for the day, this moon in Pisces moves right here into a conjunction with Chiron at the last degrees. That can bring some uncomfortable feelings. Still some things about the past. Chiron here, Pisces, 29 degrees, they're still bothering us. We're trying to get over things, we're trying to move forward, but maybe we're feeling like we're stuck. There's still some things hanging around that we're not comfortable with, that's holding us down. And even though we're making progress, maybe we're also realizing that there's still a few other things that we haven't addressed, that need to be addressed, that we gotta work out. That could feel a little bit uncomfortable. That comes up then. And then right after that happens, a few hours later, still maybe around breakfast, this moon then is going to come off this hard spot in Pisces and it's going to enter Aries where you see it here. And that can then bring our attention to doing things, acting, initiating here as well. Also can bring our attention to our identity, what we need, and to start to move forward on some of these things. Can make our feelings a little stronger as well with the moon being in Aries. And that's going to sit with us for most of the day. The next and last alignment the moon's going to make today is going to be right around dinner time. And what's going to happen there is that this moon in Aries is then going to make a square over to Venus in Capricorn. And what that could bring, again, is a little bit of a challenge with the square to Venus and with the moon being in Aries here at the nighttime. Perhaps we want to start to do things with our relationships, to feel more comfortable in life, to do what it is that we want. That could start to come in here. I think there could be a lot of things that could happen with relationships late at night here, but it could just feel a little bit of a challenge. How do we do what we want to do? How do we do what we need to do in order to feel better? Do some things we want, overcome the past without upsetting our finances, without upsetting our relationships, while making sure everyone feels comfortable, while thinking long term. That again could be the hard part, just trying to balance both of those things. All right, so that's the first thing that I want to leave with you today with this moon here is to do your best to deal with your emotions and to overcome the past. Because if you can pay attention to your emotions, even if some sensitive things come up, even if there are some vulnerabilities still that you know you haven't worked out, I think it's going to help you later in the day here to make better decisions about what you need to do with your life in order to feel more comfortable, work with relationships, and work with money in a way that resonates with you more personally. Okay, so that's what I want to talk about there. The second thing I want to talk about, again, I'm going to go back to Mars here in Uranus, and Mars coming into a conjunction with Uranus, also about to square the nodal axis here as well. What this could bring are unexpected things happening suddenly, unexpectedly, out of the blue, especially once the moon moves into Aries today. Around breakfast time, things could start to happen fast that you weren't planning on and expecting. People could be a little bit impulsive. I think it's a good thing to do things that are important to you and to do things that you know that you need in order to be happy, in order to live the life that you want to live. But I think with some alignments going on right here, right now, including this one, you have to make sure that the things that you are doing to help you overcome the past, to help you move forward, doing the things that you want are well thought out. You have to make sure as well that you're deliberate about the things that you're doing as well. It doesn't mean avoid acting. It doesn't mean to not do things. This alignment is saying you have to be swift. You have to make action. You have to do something, but you need to make sure that what you do or initiate in the next few days, especially at the first quarter moon, that it's done with forethought, that it's done from the right place with the right stuff in mind, and that you are conscious and self-aware of the steps that you're taking and that they're aligning with the goal that you ultimately want. Okay, and I think that's going to be super important with this alignment, because we could be feeling impulsive, we could be feeling a little bit frustrated. I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing to feel that. I think that frustration is helping us refine better what we want and need, but just make sure you are deliberate about the action that you do take. Now, the third and last thing I want to talk about is going to be right here where Mercury is. This is actually a positive alignment. Mercury is in Aquarius making a sextile to this crazy Mars-Uranus that I just talked about. This is actually opening the doorway for some positive conversations about things, about what you want to do, how you want to do things, about what's important to you, about where you see your life going, that I think is helping you and all of us really to make better decisions and better choices moving forward about what we need. So I think conversations are positive. I think our thoughts to ourselves, the things that we're thinking about, are helping us to refine what it is that we want and need to do in order to move forward. It's just a matter here of not acting too soon and of waiting until you get all the information that you need in the right perspective, and then once you get that information, that perspective, being very deliberate and disciplined about what you do and when, that I think is going to be the key. Again, it's not today about avoiding acting, it's about doing the things that you need, but doing the things from a really centered place, from a place of wholeness where you feel at peace with yourself and with an awareness of what will occur and in what ways, based on the decisions that you can make and the things that you can do. All right, so that is your daily planetary forecast for today. Thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you tomorrow.